And then off on another tangent where it's like, oh, well, you do sound like you've been stuck a long time, and yeah, you're going to have to learn to live with this and just put up with it. And most people, get a sort of medication balance where they're able to sustain things and get through each day well enough. But that's sort of what we then interpret as recovery. No, that's another ridiculous myth. Recovery is not something that you just interpret. You see that on social media all the time. My recovery is ... That's not true, because you can't say that. You can't say... And again, this one raises the temperature in the room when I say it. I say that and people say, well, yeah, but then recovery means this to me. No, recovery can't mean something else to someone else. I know that is frustrating. I know, because we don't like to think, oh, we're not at a position yet where we are. That doesn't make us less than. That's actually an opportunity to look for what is coming forward, what's coming further. Oh, I'm doing very well now. Even if coasting, even if you're just going along and not doing that great, that's okay. That's part of the journey. And then you can look forward to what you can go towards achieving. But it can't be misinterpreted as something that's like, oh, I just interpret it as chronic anxiety and 3 panic attacks a day. That gives no hope to the rest of the OCD community who's stuck, because then they think, is that all I've got to look forward to? So that is not true at all, right? And that's so key, because you wouldn't see in sobriety an alcoholic going, yeah, well, recovery to me is 2 pints a day instead of 10. That would be laughed out of the room. That'd be so ridiculous. But today in the OCD community, we're hearing my version of recovery is, we need to say that that's not recovery. We need to be saying that's not helping us, that information. That's really not helping us. And I have to say it quite passionately about it, because I can see where people with OCD are getting stuck and going down the wrong road by these kind of myths that keep people stuck. That myth is so counterproductive. It leaves most of the community feeling hopeless, thinking, what, all I've got to do to work towards is just feeling stuck for the rest of my life and just sort of lumping it and going on as best I can. Is that all I've got to look forward to? No, it isn't. You can recover where there's no chronic guilt and no chronic anxiety. You can get to that point with practice, but it's going to take practice. And that's so key for people to understand, so that they don't, like I was. And that's what always used to make me feel so hopeless, when I used to sit in those forums thinking, oh, I'm just going to have to put up with this forever, just not going to be able to live my life fully, not be able to function fully, and that's as good as it gets. No, it isn't. That's why this whole account is called OCD Recovery, because it's about raising awareness of that. If you were an alcoholic, sobriety is the absence of alcohol, right? Recovery, it would, and what's that then like for them? They feel fine, apart from when they get triggered about alcohol occasionally and think maybe they could relapse. Most of the time, they tend to be fine. Depending on different stories. Of course, some people where they've been alcoholic a lot longer, they can feel more pulled towards it, or different things that are going on in their own belief system in relation to, because we tend to be more triggered, particularly with addiction, when we're feeling pain or some discomfort. So obviously if they worked on their thinking more and changed that, they'd be less likely to be pulled by the alcohol sensation of wanting to relapse. But most of the time, people say, when you speak to alcoholics that have been sober for a long time, that most of the time they're fine, they don't notice it. That's the same as recovery. Recovery can't be, oh, I have 1 or 2 pints a day and that's my version of recovery, or it can't be that. It can't be that. It's recovery has got to be the absence of compulsion, so giving up compulsions, the absence of chronic anxiety and chronic guilt. Not saying you'll never feel triggered and never have a difficult time, but you will have that on occasion. You will feel those bumpy moments at times, yes, but most of the time you're going to experience no chronic anxiety, no chronic guilt, and it's going to basically be like a factory reset.